Hey, from the end of the year reading vlog. This is a companion to the Let's Talk currently reading. You don't have to watch it. It was just laying out the books on my Goodreads currently reading. It's over an hour long because there were 83. You don't have to watch it. I've made a little bit more progress on The Christmas Book Hunt by Jenny Colgan, which is a short story. I've talked a little bit about how it's quite similar in setup, or at least in the first chapter, to the Christmas Bookshop, which I vlogged last year. I'm also vlogging the short story, so we're not going to dwell too much on that. Just that I am enjoying it. It did not take long for it to kind of become its own thing, and I really like how much you can just feel the love for books in reading, in like the setting, the descriptions, the banter that Mirren and Theo have. We currently have a little bit of time before dinner, so I'm going to try and finish The Axe by Linda Griffin, which it is using the boyfriend's perspective quite well in building up the mystery, the did she do it, did she not, that I love her and I want to be with her even if she did brutally murder these two men. And I am still having a little bit of trouble just from like a personal perspective of, yes, it's interesting, and doing it from his perspective is not entirely without merit, but she was the one who was brutally assaulted, and it just feels weird to write about this thing that happened to her and make it about him. I don't myself have a problem with reading the book. It's doing its thing well. I've gotten to that point though where it's kind of, I'm reading this for I Read Book Tours, and I'm going to contact the person. She is very nice and she has been very accommodating. But just the way that things worked out, I ended up being scheduled for like 2 reviews on the 21st and 2 reviews on the 23rd of January, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. There's a part of me that just sees the title and wants to run, but hopefully we get that sorted soon. The reading has not been going well, probably because I need to finish my animation. So I am getting stressed because I think there's about a day left in The Prisoner's Throne and about 4 hours of that left. And there are bits that I really love, and I would love... I should have loved it based on its themes and the fact that it's Holly Black writing it, and it's just not worked for me at all. But I'd be really frustrated to have to take it through to 2025. I would also say I don't think The Prisoner's Throne is on the currently reading, so it's not going to clear that. I think I have about half an hour left on The Axe. But also that is work. So I would like to get that done before like the festivities start this evening. God, I can't even remember the other things. But yeah, it's starting to mount up as the days tick down, and I'm not having a good time. Oh yeah, the Christmas bookshop hunt. Still good, still enjoyable. So we did finish The Axe, and we are possibly going to get almost through the Christmas book hunt. I might not finish the review tonight, which is not fun, but I'm feeling a little bit better at the moment, and I'm really enjoying this. The conflict is great. I love that he doesn't want to do this, and he doesn't want to face it, so he's justifying it to himself, and also he's trying to do the decent thing. Yeah, it's really enjoyable. So we are currently 4-ish hours to go on the prisoner's throne, and the loan ends today, but we're not going to get that because we have a movie to knit by the end of the year, and it is going a lot worse than I thought it would be. Yeah, this is panel 2. It should not be panel 2 on the 26th. But I've been very bad with my notes. I have got Coldest Girl and Cold Town here, which again is not on the list, but it is something that I started and I really like it, which is kind of the Stolen Heir and the Prisoner's Throne have been very personally disappointing. I loved the Folk of the Air trilogy, and I just did not connect with this. There are moments, there are themes. We just had a bit that was like, wait, sorry, where's my notes? I took a note because it was excellent. Yeah, that was basically, how can you fill something that devours everything put into it? And they're talking about a heart. Oh, and like, in terms of a romance, that's amazing. But otherwise, it's just not working for me. And I did want to finish it before the year is up because I didn't want to keep fighting with it into the new year. But we have this. We have time with the family to spend. We have the one shot, the Christmas one shot. Then I want to finish watching, and it's not gonna happen. So, Coldest Girl in Cold Town is like really enjoyable Holly Black though for me. I think I mentioned this in the like reminiscing vlog, but I love this one so much. It is, of course, the last day when I'm not going to have time to finish it that I really start getting into it. Surin had this really lovely moment. I say lovely, when she was being addressed to by the High King and Queen. She revealed things that Jude did not want revealed. Who is the High Queen? And she, oh god, it's like, I did you a favour, but really now you're in my debt kind of thing, and I love it. And I just annoying how this always happens, but I also wonder if this is maybe like psychologically a thing with me, because I kind of felt that way the last time as well, like, oh, we're running out of time just as I'm getting into it, and I think maybe my brain is just not working with me. But also, I mean, I don't really care about Oak's attempt at heroics, although I do think if there is like more in the world, and I think I heard that there will be more, that's going to lead to something interesting, if it isn't itself interesting. I really like that he and Surin had like a moment of honesty, and she finally just asked him about, you know, the feelings that he confessed for having for her, and it's the good part. We finally got to the good part. Annoying. Can I just say the fact that he does a little bit want revenge on her is excellent. So I won a giveaway for an audiobook from Jay's Sapphic Advent Calendar. We're very excited about this. It's not, we'll leave this until January, we'll see. Yeah. I did, however, on Christmas start Demon Slayer Volume 19. I have not finished it yet, but oh, I don't know if there's like a time restriction or something that he had to like finish the series in a set amount of months, that there are these little extra bits that he keeps apologizing for not making it into the actual pages. And on one hand, I do like a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. On the other hand, you didn't get it in, so it shouldn't. It's not entirely canon in my head for that reason. So an annoying problem for me with the series is the way that the women keep getting pushed out, or undermined or sidelined, and I was really worried, and I really didn't like, I think, volume 18 for that. And I opened up this one and I was like, well, the girls are on the chapter cover. At least they haven't been like entirely pushed out of this fight. And then that happened, and I screamed. I think more than any other bit, I think that was done really well. It is, of course, like probably the best bit in terms of female characters for me. And I do like that we haven't forgotten Tanjiro entirely, and we're still getting his reactions to things, so that there's still a connection, that he's not falling to the wayside. But we still got a few moments of humour before we were punted back into like the serious oh no's. Oh wow, you can really see how bad my glasses are in this light. Wow. Okay. That's not fun. I was right about the Prisoner's Throne. The loan ended before I could finish it, and it's not going to be available again until the 7th of February, I think, which not my favourite outcome, but it's not going to delay the getting down the current reading, because I don't think that showed up on it. Demon Slayer again is not on it, but The Hobbit is, and I'm going to work on getting through The Hobbit. I think I'm going to restart it. I was only 35 minutes in, so it's not a big book either. So that's the plan for today. I am I'm like 7 panels behind on my yarn animation, which I need to finish by the end of the year. So plenty of time for audiobooking. So I had quite forgotten why I didn't like Andy Serkis' rendition of The Misty Mountains Cold, and I've just listened to it again, and I think it's because until like the end he keeps speeding up, and I understand why they wouldn't want to do it 2-stage, but at the same time, I don't know, for something that is so lovely, it just feels like you're rushing to get past it, and that's why I didn't really like it. Absolute highlight of the book was the bit with Gollum, because of course Andy Serkis. No, it's gone. It's gone. What was I gonna say? I vaguely remembered the section Rivendell had the elves singing. I didn't. Was it the goblins who were also? I kind of forgot how musical it is, and I had no interest in the Hobbit films after the first one, which, sure is a film. I really wish we'd seen Guillermo del Toro's version. Not even like necessarily instead of, but just. I think he would have done something really wonderful. Okay, so we have just a little bit over 3.5 hours to go, and I am sorry to say that once they crossed the river, I fell asleep, and when I woke up, they were in the barrels, or at least they were about to be put in the barrels. I did consider like going back and listening to it, but 3.5 hours is actually quite a bit of time, and I would like to finish it, especially because we started a new book yesterday. Blood Lasts Forever. It's one of the 5 reviews I have to post in January, and so I really want to also get that done before the end of the year, if possible. But panel 3 of, in my head I see 25 to 30, but I genuinely can't calculate it, so we will see if any of this gets done. Okay, so The Hobbit is done. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. The best part actually is not Gollum or Smaug. It is when Thorin sends him away, and that got me. But I mean, I feel like for all the jokes about that last Lord of the Rings film just going on forever, kind of applies here too. Like, except I haven't like sank. We're 8 hours into watching a film to kind of justify that. I don't know. It was a lot more episodic than I remembered it being. But, you know, that makes sense for a children's story. I guess I didn't remember it well enough. And kind of being in a rush for the end of the year didn't really help. I liked it. I had a good time with it. I just don't know if I would like it as it is, as opposed to having enjoyed the performance of it. Though I will say I really had to start flipping the volume quite a bit towards the end, which was, it sure was a thing I had to do. We are immediately going on, I think, to Audible now. It is. I know that I was kind of in the middle of. Actually, I don't even remember if that's on the list. Let me check. The Very Secret Society of Regular Witches is here. So we are just gonna try and finish this. There's just over 6 hours left. I think if I go at my usual 1.25-ish, that might cut it down. I don't know. We'll try. That's all we can do. Okay, I want to say at 1.7 speed, which I don't really like going up that high, this narrator is still excellent. I'm not the best with accents, but I really enjoyed at least the attempt at them. Excellent setup and payoff. I know I'm doing this all wrong. I will tell you what this book is about. Oh my god. An entire afternoon's work is, I'm going to have to pull it all out. And it is distressing. I'm getting me the headphones because I will finish this before the new year. So I will tell you about the book tomorrow. Okay, so first of all, Happy New Year. I hope it is a kind year. Second of all, okay, so I didn't actually delete any of the books I'm currently reading. Yet I kept saying I'll do it later. Big mistake. I accidentally when I was trying to say I finished The Hobbit on Goodreads, I marked Bloodlust Forever as finished. So bad. I'm gonna have to fix that once I'm done. But that is annoying. And we're still only like 13%. I think it says, oh no, I think it says like 12% or 13% on Goodreads, and then 15 on StoryGraph, because that's more different page numbers. We finished The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I was going to do some other stuff, but did not have time for that. I really loved this, but I also have quite a problem with it, which is weird because so when Everything Everywhere All at Once came out, there were a lot of millennials who were like, we never got apologies from our parents, so now we're like writing films where this happens, and I don't remember the other films that they mentioned. And I saw that for a few months and then it died down, and I was like, good for you. I didn't get it, but you know, good for them. And I think this book is the closest that kind of gets for me, but that's also like my big problem with the book. The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches is a cozy fantasy romance, and it is one where witches are quite rare in Britain, and they don't really congregate except for now and then for a meeting, and they're not open about it with their loved ones. And then Mika Moon, you can tell what kind of book it's going to be by her name, is called to Nowhere House to be the ward, I guess, and tutor of 3 young witches. It is like one of the closest cozy books to actually work for me. In other words, like, I didn't like Legends and Lattes. I thought you're being extorted for months by a mob boss is not, in fact, cozy, and is quite stressful. And then other ones, I was like, you don't know what you're doing because you've really fucking stepped in it. And this is one of the books where they really fucking stepped in it. Primrose, who adopted Mika, is white, and these 3 girls as well are not white. They were collected by this white woman and brought to this big house. And I, as a transracial adoptee with white parents, is like, you know that's an industry, right? Like a for-profit industry. And not all of the kids are got above board. Like, it evokes something that I don't think Sandana was aware of, and certainly if she was trying to deal with it, she did not. And it just, I really loved it, and I really loved all of the characters and the interactions, and it had such life breathed into it. But part of the reason why I left this for so long was because it gave me the ick. I haven't rated it. If I were to rate it, I would probably give it the 4.755, even in spite of that. Like I said, listen, my relationship with my parents has its problems, but it's not like that. But the relationship she had with Primrose, and that kind of, that big conversation that they had, which I think was woven in so well, did a lot for me. I'm glad it's the one I ended on. I'm glad it's the one I ended on. I did want to go back and do a little bit more of the Baby Dragon Cafe. After this, that would be such a downgrade. Which is really mean to say, but like the emotions, the life breathed into the characters, as opposed to like a book where they just tell you, oh, they're attracted to each other. Oh, we've never told you that he has this rule, but she breaks it, and it's like net zero information has been gained. That at least shows him having the rule before you have her break it for him. Just, oh, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. That being said, because I had to start Blood Lasts Forever, technically I went down to 81 books on my currently reading, so I didn't make the progress that I wanted to make, but I at least made some progress. Thank you for watching. Happy New Moonathon as well to everyone.